get into it. I jumped back into Kenshi recently, and man, it is definitely, in my mind, one of the most replayable games ever. Like, it's janky and it is for the most niche type of player, but I just walk away every single time really enjoying my time. And when I say for a certain type of player, my best pitch really is if you played a massive open world RPG and thought, what if this world didn't care about me at all? Like, if you enjoy that ridiculous, almost thick-headed, stupid perseverance and really getting there, you know, the triumph of that final eventual victory, no matter how completely exhausted and beaten down you are, Kenshi is absolutely for you. It's a pretty simple setup, but the execution is incredibly complicated. You start as a complete nobody. You aren't the chosen one with a glowing sword, aren't a famous hero of the realm, but just this stupid, broke, tired guy or girl or a weird bug person standing in the middle of a massive, brutal, and just freaking unforgiving wasteland. The game is straight up just a survival simulating sandbox where everything wants to murder you, rob you, or eat you. On my very first run, I walked out of a dusty little hub town, got immediately beaten unconscious by a group of starving bandits over a piece of dried meat, and was left bleeding in the dirt. I didn't get a game over screen to save me, I just had to watch my guy lay there until a slave trader walked by, patched my wounds, slapped shackles on my legs, and dragged me to a stone mine to work for the rest of my miserable life. And you might think, wow, that sounds absolutely awful, but that was just the first 2 hours of a 150-hour playthrough. Because from there, you have to actually think like a survivor. You start plotting an escape, you manage to pick the lock on your cage, sneak past the heavy guards at midnight, and run out into the freezing desert. You're starving, you're weak, but you are finally free. Then a giant, terrifying, dinosaur-looking creature called a beak thing chases you down and completely bites off your left arm. You survive, somehow, by playing dead, but now you have to crawl to a city and spend days mining copper just to save up enough money to buy a cheap, crappy, rusted robotic replacement limb. That type of progression, that absolute raw freedom, right? Like you're using the game's mechanics and the world's brutal physics to really scramble yourself up from absolute rock bottom to whatever you want to be. Your brain starts to adapt. You're looking for the tiniest little advantage, scavenging scrap off dead bodies from a massive faction battle you didn't even participate in, slowly shimmying your way up the food chain. Also, I want to say that there is some story here. Like, there are light lore elements and world building scattered around the map, but most of it really is the raw gameplay of starting at the bottom and physically, over the course of the entire game, building your own empire. You can play this game for hundreds of hours and never do the same thing twice. You can be a freaking solitary wandering swordsman trying to hunt down bounties, become a stealthy hashish smuggler dodging the zealous Holy Nation patrols. You can build an entire massive city from scratch, complete with defensive walls, automated turret defenses, and wheat farms, and go to full-scale war with the United Cities. The game just scales with your ambition. And also, obviously, I will say that the game is difficult. I struggled for a significant portion of my early hours because it's kind of hard to get the hang of it. Sometimes it's not clear what you're supposed to be doing, and it can feel incredibly frustrating and sometimes tedious. You'll get your entire squad wiped out by cannibals and lose 15-20 minutes because you hadn't saved, and that can be pretty brutal. But it kind of comes with that whole survival thing, that persevering thing. Oh, and also, like, why not just also talk about the looks, like the vibe, looks to this game. So, yeah, obviously they're not going for photorealistic graphics. It looks pretty dated. The immersion definitely breaks if a physics glitch sends a ragdoll body flying into the stratosphere. So again, little things here and there, but I actually love the visual style. You get some really crazy sunsets, some incredible vistas in these weird alien deserts. So I just really didn't have much complaints in that department. And me personally, I think the art style should be the carrying factor of games these days.